Binance just burned 562 million Terra Luna Classic. That is a big burn, commensurate with some of the other ones that we've seen for the last bunch of months. We're seeing a reduction in supply, and that should lead to a spike in price, but it's not. So what exactly is going on right now? I'm going to break this all down for you. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. If you're a Terra Luna Classic fan, leave me a price prediction down below. Tell me what you think is going to happen, and do you think that this bull market is over? Do you think we're in the bear market? And if so, we've missed everything. But I don't think that that's the case. I think that market makers right now are coordinating to make a big move right now, and that we should see some real upward momentum coming very, very shortly. All of the dominoes have just not fallen into place yet, and I'll explain why. All right, folks, Greenpeace just posted the update. 562 million Terra Luna Classic have been burned. It's a pretty big number for the level of burns. Remember, it was near the 400 million range not that long ago. So we're seeing an uptick in the intake and volume for Terra Luna Classic, which is a good thing. Also, don't forget that some of that might have come from the increased trading because Kraken delisted Terra Luna Classic, and Binance basically picked up that slack. You could even see in the transactions from Kraken how they were moving their Terra Luna Classic over into that Binance ecosystem. Ultimately, that leaves the question right now, what's going on with the market? And overnight, there was no bad news. Now, I do want to say there was no bad news. However, a few days before, we had seen that China was going to ban stablecoins. We had seen that China was going to ban crypto again. We saw that, there were a lot of different things that were kind of floating around with China that, maybe something was going to happen. And that would have led to a dump immediately a few days ago. And then we had on Sunday, which is Monday morning for the Japanese market, that bond yields are continuing to rise, which means that Japan is entering a financial crisis. Now, is that earth-shattering? Well, it's important, but is it earth-shattering for crypto? And the answer to that would be no. In fact, this would be a flight away. This is the hedge against your inflation in your country, Bitcoin. So what you should have seen is a move into Bitcoin. But what was it? It was negative news. It was two pieces of negative news, and it was used by market makers that worked on a coordinated basis to dump the entire market, to shake you out, because that's how they make their money. And basically, here's what it is. If you sell right now and the price goes down, they buy what you sold. And then you say, oh no, I made a mistake here because the price just reversed, and now you go back in, you might have a little bit less of a bag, but you just became exit liquidity, and they do that to you all the time. Maybe not you, maybe you're too smart for that, but the people who are not too smart for that, they're absolutely selling and dunking on this market. So now it should be noted that Dow futures are down a couple hundred points to lead off the first day of December. We're down 260 points at the moment, so not a great start to the markets. However, that could just turn on an absolute dime. We've seen this dumping of the market, and look, it's a tale as old as time. What we do now is we change our thesis just a little bit. We're looking like we're legging down. It looks like another leg down. We had a little retest, and we've seen these retests here. We saw the little retest right here, leg down, little retest right here, leg down, little retest right here, leg down. Now, the question is, are we going to reverse from here, and are we going to mint a higher high on this dump? That's really the question right now. And I don't know the answer to that. I'm just looking at it right now. I'm reading the data and telling you. But what I wanted to say was, look, Bitcoin's down 5%. Ethereum is down 6%. Solana, 6%. BNB, 6%. LUNC, 7%. XRP, 6%. Guys, are you hearing the numbers? It's all the same thing over and over again. Now, what about AI? AI, Tau, down 10%. You don't say. Near Protocol, the other AI in the top 100, down 10%. Wait, they're both down 10%. What about ICP? ICP down 5%. Injective Protocol down 10%. Cortex down 10%. Assemble Protocol, AI down 10%. Fetch AI down 10%. Guys, this is a coordinated dump by market makers to try to shake you out of your position. It does not mean, by the way, that it's over. It doesn't mean that they're tricking you or anything like that. It just means, well, let me rephrase that. It does mean that they're tricking you, but it doesn't mean that they're not done selling. It doesn't mean that we haven't found a bottom. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that they are coordinating right now to extract liquidity from you and shake you out of it and convince you that it's over. Because in order for them to make all of the money, for them to experience that that transfer of wealth that they are looking for, they got to spook you out. They got to make you, they got to chill you completely. Now, if we look at Bitcoin trend over the last 12 months, and by the way, we're LUNC, but we want to talk about Bitcoin because look, you go down this list here and you see that there was an enormous spike in engagement a couple of weeks ago. There was a lot of interest right now, and then suddenly it's completely cooled off. It's a testament to the way that the market is working right now. So what we're seeing is we're seeing a drawdown and people are starting to get pounded out of the market. But let's zoom out one more time and let's look at what happened the last bunch of times. We've had these low moves here where interest has waned, and then what happens? You get an enormous spike in interest right after that. Well, look at the level of interest that we saw just recently. Everybody thinks that this market is ready to send, okay? Everybody thinks that this market is ready to ignite and go crazy. Now, when I say that, don't forget, there are plenty of people out there, I shouldn't say everybody, there are a lot of people out here calling for the bear market. They're 4-year cycle bros that think that the 4-year cycle is over, that or is here, and that it's done, and that it ends in October or November. And it doesn't matter. By the way, it doesn't matter when the halving was. It doesn't matter exactly what the time frame is. It's close enough, bro, is what they're saying. And by the way, that is part of the reason that we had this dump. We had Wintermute selling off and doing this capitulation event that they did right over here. We saw that play out real time. And then what did we see? Then we saw the 4-year bros say, oh, the cycle must be over, bro. And then they started selling as well. That's what ended up happening. Now, don't believe me? Go look at the wallets. I'm not telling you anything that you shouldn't or don't already know. It's in the wallets. All you have to do is follow them, and you will see that what I'm saying is correct. Now, again, we have to look at this from a very simple standpoint, okay? Now, I want to take this and I want to use a Fibonacci and I want to show you guys what I think is going to happen. Well, you found a pivot low and you found a pivot high. Well, now you're retracing to the exact spot, by the way, that you're supposed to based on Fibonacci algorithm. Guess what you got? You got to move into the golden zone. You got to wick just below the golden zone. But what that means is that there should be a massive reversal back here to 90,000 over the next couple of hours or days. So I think that the question at that point would be, can we break 90 and get back up? Because if we meant a top higher than this right here, then the rally would be back on because we've got lows coming in at this level. Now, by the way, this is astrology for men, so I'm just guessing. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. But when you present an attractive buy position, like for example, right now, down $150 billion. I think it was $170 billion on the day at one point. But again, there's no news that's causing this. So what happens to Terra Luna Classic? Well, as we've seen right now, there's still a little bit of liquidity extraction. And we're not paired with anything that would cause it. This is a pure Terra Luna Classic move to the downside, but that's people getting nervous about the market. So what should you do? What you should do is hold. Just hold on because we're not done yet. The market is not over. Now, from a volume perspective, we're up to 11 million in volume, which is up 2x from a really low weekend. And 4.3 million, it was really down on USTC over the weekend. Again, to the point of being about 2 million, 1.5 million, like very low. What's happening right now is retail is being suffocated, but it's almost over. I'm telling you right now that this suffocation of retail is almost at its end. And I don't have any reason to say that other than, again, I'm reading the tea leaves and the tea leaves tell me that that's the case. I don't know that to be the case or not. I am guessing. I just want to be honest with you guys. I think that there's tremendous upside right here, and I'm looking at it and I'm seeing all of a sudden there's this huge interest where there wasn't before. Retail is being shaken out. That's it. Now, the burns, 379 million, but we've got that big wick so far, 590 million for just today off of USTC. Get yourself to terracasino.io and start playing today. I've been watching this morning, and there is some incredible money being tossed around right now on these wagers. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of people right now playing terracasino.io. And I hope that if you did, you bet on Louisville Cardinals. They covered 41-0 against the Kentucky Wildcats. The Chicago Bears 24-15 over the, who did they play over the weekend? Oh yeah, it doesn't matter who they play, but it was the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, it's winning money is easy. Winning money is easy. You should try it. Terraport.finance for all of your meme coins and utility coins. Get in right now. Get in where you fit in, as Jacob Fatu might say. And by the way, still the king by a long shot is Terraport. But I want to thank you guys. Terrapump.fun is now in the top 4 for revenue volume for the last month, and it's become part of that synergy with Terraport. So I want to thank you guys for being supportive right now. You know, we don't have a ton of volume, but we do have volume, and it continues to happen. And thank you guys. Now, as far as the validators go, I don't see anything really moving other than all nodes picked up a little bit. Greenpeace picked up a little bit more than all nodes did. So I don't know if you decide that that's a good sign. Again, if he's voting the way that you want, then this is a good sign for you. Happy Kitty Crypto also picked up about $1 billion, which is also pretty good. But just so you guys know, these two guys are diametrically opposed to one another. You know, and I'm diametrically opposed to all of them. So it's a very weird time in this space. But listen, if you stuck around for the end of this, just hold. That's all you have to do. Just hold and let the chefs do their jobs. Let them cook, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's just see what happens. By the way, let me point something out to you that you guys may not be paying attention to. The number of delegators are going down, while the number of LUNC stake is going up. You guys should recognize that. When you see something like that, then you know. To me, that is a symbol that the fix is in, for whatever the fix is. But that's a symbol to me that the fix is in. So just know that it's a little bit weird when you see these kind of movements right now. So you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm always